Hi guys, so today I'm going to be wrapping up all the books that I read in September. Eventually I'm going to be doing like a catch-up wrap-up, which is going to be talking about all the books that I read while I was kind of gone from BookTube for a while. This is going to include the books from my library book haul, where a lot of you guys were wanting me to give you my opinion on those books that I'd already read. The first thing I'm going to talk about is Golden Boy by Abigail Tarlin. I forgot the name for a minute. And this one was a really great book. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you up front, I loved it. So this is about Max, who was born intersex, which means he was born with both male and female reproductive organs. And this one is just a coming of age story. There's something that happens in the very beginning, which I don't want to give away. It wouldn't spoil the book, but I think it has more of an impact if you go into it not knowing what that is. But the event that takes place, it changes Max's entire life, shakes up his world and everything he thought he knew about himself. And it's just an incredible, like I said, coming of age. And it's so interesting to read about an intersex character, and it just really makes you think, and I loved it a lot. I liked the writing. It's definitely like a stream of consciousness writing style, which I feel like the book could not have been written any other way. It just works perfectly with this book because you're so inside the minds of the characters, because you don't only get Max's perspective, you also get the perspectives of his family members and some other important characters to the story. So it's just really good. I highly recommend it. I gave it 5 stars. I think it's an important book that everyone needs to read at some point in their life, so I loved this most definitely. So then after that, I picked up Far From You, and the glare is ridiculous, by Tess Sharp. And this one, if you've watched my library book haul, you've already heard the synopsis, but for those of you who haven't, I still want to let you know what this is about. It's about this girl. Our main character's name is Sophie, and her best friend Mina is shot and killed. So basically the whole plot is our main character trying to figure out why her friend was killed, who did it. And what I love about the story is there's so many different layers to it, and I just absolutely adored this. So I gave this one I think I gave it either 4.5 or 5 stars on Goodreads, but it's very, very good either way. So yeah, really good one. Good young adult. It has a lot of mystery and stuff. Then we have Adulthood is a Myth by Sarah Anderson, and these are her comics, the Sarah Scribbles collection. And every single one of them I literally read and was like, oh my god, this is me. Like, it was freaking me out how much I related to this book, and I feel like a lot of you guys will too. One of my things in life is like, I don't adult very well at all. And so as you can tell by the title, like, this hits on all of those topics about adulthood and being a girl as well, in general. So it's just fantastic. It made me laugh so much, and I highly recommend this, so definitely pick it up if you get the chance to. So I gave that one 5 stars if you couldn't tell. Now we're going to move on to a book that I don't really like talking about that much, but I want to give you guys my opinion on it, so I have to talk about it, and it's The Vegetarian. And this book is pretty popular. You've probably seen it going around on BookTube or whatever. Lots of people talking about it, and I've heard mostly just positive reviews. So I was really excited for this. To give you a brief synopsis, it's about this woman who literally just wakes up one day and decides that she is going to throw out all the meat in her house. She's going to throw out anything made of leather, no dairy products, eggs, anything like that. So technically she's a vegan, so I don't really understand why it's the vegetarian instead of the vegan. I don't know if this just sounds cooler or I don't know, but I don't know. She's a vegan technically, but anyway. And her husband's like, what are you doing? What's going on? And her only response is, I had a dream. So she has this dream that causes her to want to become a vegetarian. In her culture, that's not really widely accepted as much as it is here in America, and her family turns against her and totally goes nuts, not understanding why she won't eat meat or fix meat for her husband, because she won't even do that, and let him eat meat either in the house. So everyone's really upset about that. Basically, the main thing I did not like about this is that you never get the perspective of the woman who's going through this and deciding to become a vegetarian. You just get the perspectives of people around her. You do get a little bit of glimpses into those dreams that she has, because it's a recurring thing, but that's really all you get from her, and I didn't like that. I think this would have been so much cooler to be inside of her mind, knowing what's going on. So I didn't like that. All the other characters except for the sister sucked. Like, I hated the male characters with every fiber of my being. The husband, don't even get me started. This brother-in-law, again, don't get me started. So, yeah, okay. This book is split into like 3 different parts. First part is from the perspective of her husband. Second is her brother-in-law's perspective, and the third is her sister's perspective. And like I said, the sister was the only one that I kind of liked. I just felt like this was underwhelming. I was expecting something much, I don't know. It is intense and creepy and weird, but it just did not live up to my expectations, and I did not like this book, to be completely honest with you. Look how small it is, and I mean, I read it in one day, but the whole time I was like, my God, is this not over yet? Like, I was at the last few pages and I was like, okay, I just want to be done with this. So I do want to say that so many people love this book, so do not just take my word for it, but I'm just telling you how I felt while I was reading it. I did not like it, and afterward I was just like, that was such a waste of time. And I feel really bad saying that about it, because there were certain little good parts, I guess, but overall I didn't like it. In the middle part, I want the whole entire middle half of the book to be ripped out and burned. I don't see its purpose. This was totally overly sexual. I'm fine with books having sexual content, but this was like ridiculously, like, it felt like the author was like, okay, I've got to make this all about sex, when it didn't need to be. And I don't know, it was just, okay, I'm gonna stop ranting about this, but I didn't like it. So I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, but that's generous, so we're gonna knock it down to 1 star, and then I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. Okay. So now we're going to move on to happier things. I read the first 2 books in the Deanna Madden series by A.R. Torrey. The first book is The Girl in 6E, and the second one is Do Not Disturb. There is a 3rd book in the trilogy, which I'm reading right now, but I'll just tell you about the series as a whole, or at least the first 2 books. So these books are about a woman named Deanna who locks herself in her apartment every single night, or has someone actually lock her in from the outside, and during the day she just does not go out. And the reason she does that is because she has murderous tendencies, so she's afraid she's going to kill someone because she has these fantasies of doing so. She has killed before in her life, and you kind of get that backstory in this first one. That is extremely interesting. It's kind of like Dexter in that way, which I've never actually seen Dexter, but I know the plot of it. So I have seen some people compare it to Dexter as well. So it's kind of got that aspect to it. It also has the aspect of her profession as a cam girl, and that's really, really interesting. Never read a book with a protagonist who is a cam girl, so that's really cool to read about and just kind of understand that entire world. It is labeled as erotica, which I said in my library haul, but again, like I said in that video as well, it doesn't seem like it has any more sexual content than a new adult. So the author actually said in an interview in the back that a lot of erotica fans are upset that this is categorized as erotica, so it's not super heavy in that department, but it's just really creepy, but so intriguing and written really, really well. I love the characters of this series. I love the love interest. He's one of my new book boyfriends. He's incredible. And I love him and Deanna together. And each book focuses on a different crime happening that the main character kind of gets involved in. So the crimes are pretty hard to read about because we get inside the minds of the criminals, and it's pretty intense. There's definitely some comic relief, and it's fantastically done all around, and I love this series. So the first 2 books, I gave them both 5 stars. Please read them because they are so good. They are weird and quirky but wonderful at the same time, and I really don't think you'll regret it. So yeah, read them. And then, like I said, I'm reading the 3rd book right now. Sorry, the camera's shaking, which is If You Dare. I haven't actually started it, but I'm getting ready to tonight. So that is my September wrap up, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have read any of these or want to, and we can discuss that. And that's it. So I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Bye.